prepared
The
for is
Galactic
upon us.
Council chamber
Our
fell
intelligence
silent as
confirms the fleet
Ambassador
is
Marcus
mobilizing.
Webb stepped
We must
forward,
act
his
decisively to
boots
secure our
echoing
future.
against the crystalline floor. Around him, representatives from 47 species watched with varying degrees of concern etched across their alien features. "The motion stands," announced High Arbiter Velcara, her translucent wings shimmering with agitation. "The Zafrani species faces extinction. The Kryn swarm has breached their final defensive line. We lack the military capacity to intervene." Marcus cleared his throat. "Humanity volunteers." A ripple of whispers spread through the chamber. The Thelonians clicked their mandibles nervously. The Orvithai delegation physically recoiled. "Ambassador Webb," Velcara's voice carried a warning tone, "your species has been part of this council for merely 70 cycles. The Kryn are a Class 9 threat. They've consumed 14 civilizations." Marcus's jaw tightened. 300 years ago, when humanity was taking its first steps into deep space, we encountered a damaged Zafrani colony ship. We were primitive by galactic standards. We barely had functional FTL drives. He paused, meeting the Arbiter's multifaceted gaze. The Zafrani could have ignored us, passed us by. Instead, they spent 2 years teaching us, sharing technology, guiding us. They asked for nothing in return. "A noble sentiment," interjected Counselor Thrak, his reptilian features twisted in something resembling pity. "But sentiment does not defeat the swarm." "No," Marcus agreed. "But humans do." Aboard the UNSC Retribution, Fleet Admiral Jennifer Hayes stood before the largest human armada ever assembled. 200 warships floated in formation, their hulls bearing the scars of a dozen conflicts the galaxy knew nothing about. "Listen up," Hayes's voice cut through the comm channel like a blade. "The Zafrani homeworld has 48 hours before the swarm arrives. High Command has authorized Protocol Gravestone." In the briefing room, Captain David Torres felt his stomach drop. Around him, the other ship commanders exchanged glances. Protocol Gravestone was the contingency nobody wanted to use, the culmination of 3 centuries of humanity studying galactic warfare and finding it wanting. "The Council species fight clean," Hayes continued. "Honor duels. Proportional response. Elegant tactics." Her expression hardened. "We don't have that luxury. We were born on a death world, forged in total wars, and we remember what it means to fight for survival." Commander Rebecca Stone raised her hand. "Rules of engagement, ma'am." Hayes's smile was cold. "The Geneva Convention ended at Earth's orbit, Commander. Out here, there's only the mission. Save the Zafrani. Erase the swarm." The Kryn swarm detected the human fleet at the edge of the Zafrani system. The hive mind, ancient and ravenous, had faced countless species. It recognized the pattern, a desperate rescue attempt, heroic and futile. The swarm numbered 50,000 bioships, each a living weapon evolved over millennia. They moved like a locust cloud, blotting out stars. Marcus watched from the observation deck of the Retribution as the first wave of human ships advanced. Not the destroyers or carriers. Those hung back. Instead, automated vessels moved forward, ugly and industrial. Freighters, the Zafrani liaison, Ambassador Lyra, stared in confusion. "Why send cargo ships?" Marcus didn't answer. He simply watched. The freighters entered range. The swarm descended upon them, tearing through hulls, consuming metal and circuitry. Then the first detonation lit up the void. Lyra's translator struggled to process her scream as a miniature sun erupted where the freighter had been. Then another. And another. "Tactical nuclear warheads," Marcus said quietly. 50 megatons each. We filled those freighters with them. 200 ships. 4,000 warheads. The swarm reeled, thousands of bioships vaporized instantly. But it adapted, pulling back, preparing to circumvent the minefield. That's when the real fleet opened fire. What happened next would be studied in military academies across the galaxy for generations. Human weapons didn't fire elegant plasma or refined energy beams. They launched tungsten rods at relativistic speeds, kinetic kill vehicles that struck with the force of orbital bombardment. They deployed viral agents specifically engineered to target Kryn biology, weaponized diseases that tore through the swarm's organic composition. Captain Torres commanded the Athens, his railguns firing in a continuous stream. Target-rich environment didn't begin to describe it. Every shot hit. Every hit killed dozens as the tungsten penetrators passed through multiple bioships. The swarm tried to adapt, but humanity had prepared for that too. EMP bursts disabled their neural coordination. Chaff and flares confused their sensory organs. And when they tried to flee, they found human ships had mined every exit vector from the system. Commander Stone watched her tactical display with grim satisfaction. They're trying to scatter. Close the net. The Kryn, for the first time in their ancient existence, knew fear. The prey had teeth. 72 hours later, the Zafrani homeworld was safe. The Kryn swarm had been reduced to scattered remnants fleeing into deep space, hunted by human pursuit ships that would chase them for months. Ambassador Lyra stood beside Marcus on the observation deck, staring at the debris field that had once been the galaxy's most feared threat. Your species. She struggled to find words. You fought like demons. Marcus's expression remained neutral. We fought like humans. There's a difference the galaxy is about to learn. He turned to face her. 300 years ago, your people saved us when you didn't have to. Today, we return that favor. He paused. But let this also be a message to the Council. Humanity doesn't forget its friends. He let the unspoken corollary hang in the air, and we don't forget our enemies. Across the galaxy, the Council convened an emergency session. The vote was unanimous. Humanity would be granted a permanent seat and full military autonomy. Nobody wanted to discover what protocol gravestone had been the merciful option compared to. The Zafrani were saved. The Kryn were broken. And the galaxy learned an important lesson: humans repay their debts in full, with interest compounded over centuries. And they always collect.